In the headlines, Dominicans warned to seriously prepare for Hurricane Isaac. The Red Cross among organizations preparing for Hurricane Isaac. And government engages the public on proposed registration of Electors Amendment Bill. I'm Andrea Louis with the Channel 5 News. Back with the details after this.
At Millennium Freight Services, we offer a wide range of shipping solutions. Internet shoppers, sign up for your free U.S. address with AirPost. And with AirPost warranty in return, you can count on peace of mind for all your pieces. Shipping to and from anywhere around the world, from large containerized cargo to smaller packages with Liat Cargo and UPS. Shipping from Trinidad, Logistics International's got you covered. Avoid the port with our customs clearance and optional home delivery services. Ask about our packing services. We make moving easy. MFS, your one-stop shipping solutions company.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, galvanized and fence pipe. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
Thank you for staying with us. First up, Hurricane Isaac is expected to begin affecting Dominica on Wednesday and passing near to or over Dominica on Thursday. Isaac became the fifth hurricane of the Atlantic season at 11 o'clock Sunday night. At 11 a.m. Monday, Hurricane Isaac was located near latitude 14.7 degrees north and longitude 43.9 degrees west, or about 1,230 miles east of the Windward Islands. Isaac was moving westward at 14 miles per hour with maximum sustained winds of 75 miles per hour. Additional strengthening is forecast during the next day or two, with some weakening expected by the middle of the week as the system approaches the islands. Residents are advised to closely monitor the progress of Isaac and to make all the necessary preparations for the arrival of this system. Dominicans are being warned to prepare for the effects of a Category 1 hurricane later this week. During a press briefing on Monday, Acting Senior Meteorological Officer Marshall Alexander cautioned the Dominican public that Hurricane Isaac will begin to affect the island by the middle of the week.
Some additional strengthening is expected during the next 2 days. However, Isaac is expected to lose some strength as it approaches the islands. On the forecast track, the system is expected to be near or over Dominica by late Wednesday into Thursday. However, we're expecting activity from this system to begin affecting Dominica by early Wednesday. So, tropical storm force winds extend 45 miles and hurricane force winds extend 10 miles from the center of that system.
Alexander is urging the public to take all the necessary steps to secure life and property ahead of the approaching storm.
So we're advising residents to make the necessary preparations for the arrival of that system to protect life and property, as we're expecting that system to approach Dominica as a Category 1 hurricane. Also, a watch or warning may be issued for Dominica by tomorrow morning.
Deputy Prime Minister Reginald Austrie has issued a stern warning to Dominicans to heed the advice of government as Hurricane Isaac approaches the island. Austrie said the National Emergency Planning Organization, NEPO, will meet on Tuesday morning, after which a few decisions will be made public on what action should be taken ahead of Hurricane Isaac's expected impact on the island.
As we continue to assess the situation, a decision may be taken tomorrow when NEPO meets at 9 a.m. and all the necessary instructions will be issued then. That may include the suspension of school and the shortening of working hours. This will be communicated to you by the local media from the Disaster Preparedness Office. If and when that information is provided, I am calling on all residents to remain indoors as much as possible, and anyone found uselessly loitering the streets will be dealt with accordingly. Essential workers These are the health professionals, fire and police officers, security personnel, disaster officials, and others will be required to continue working. However, we ask you to do so cautiously, being cognizant of the dangers out there.
Austria pointed to the fewer number of emergency shelters available to the public and asked that users respect the buildings being used for this purpose.
Due to Hurricane Maria last year, we do not yet have our full complement of shelters. However, available emergency shelters around the country may be opened by Wednesday. And on this note, let me urge all Dominicans to please respect the emergency shelters, particularly this time when we'll be using private homes and some public buildings. The use of those buildings will determine how quickly we can return to normalcy following any storm. In areas where there are not sufficient shelters, like I've said, we are asking residents in the neighboring communities to please support and assist your neighbor. I want to at this time pledge that my house can be used as a shelter if and when it becomes necessary. That's my house in Mona Louis. It was used during Maria, and it's again available for use.
The Deputy Prime Minister also appealed to the business community to secure their property ahead of the impending weather system. Meantime, Minister for the Environment, Joseph Isaac, has called on the public to listen to the authorized body for the dissemination of weather information. Isaac says the spread of weather information from non-official sources could increase the panic level in the country. He asked the public to pay special attention to the information being given out by the Dominica Meteorological Service.
Weather monitoring and reporting must be done by trained professionals. I repeat, weather monitoring and reporting must be done by trained professionals. The official and legal body that is responsible for providing up-to-date information on tropical cyclones like Isaac is the Meteorological Office. I'm therefore calling on those who are involved in the transmission of weather information that is not officially from the Met Office, either on radio or on social media, to desist from this practice and allow the authorities that are designated to provide the information to do so, since any error may lead to an increase in the levels of panic associated with these events.
The minister cautioned Dominicans to be vigilant as the weather system approaches the island chain.
I ask everybody within Dominica, from the different communities from the length and breadth of Dominica, to remain vigilant. Let us not drop our guards. This is a serious matter. Remember, the issue of forecasting weather is not an exact science at this time. It is a combination of science, art, and experience. But we should never take a chance. We should always have our guards up to ensure that we are always prepared. So I'm therefore calling on all Dominicans to be vigilant.
In other top stories, the Dominica Red Cross is on full alert as the organization prepares for Hurricane Isaac on Wednesday into Thursday this week.
Channel 5 News was privileged to speak with the organization's new Director General on Monday.
As part of our preparedness activities now for Isaac, we have been working with community groups. We have community disaster response teams in around 16 communities. So we have reactivated these teams and we are providing them with the capacity to be able to respond to any eventuality through trainings, radio communications, first aid and CPR, and likewise our branches, because we have 8 branches around the island, and we are building capacity at the branch level. We are also trying to preposition some supplies so they would be able to respond in their communities to the residents in the communities. We are also providing them with training and, you know, the first aid and their CPR, the radio communications, etc.
The Red Cross will activate its contingency plan.
We do have some stock on hand that if anything does happen, that we will be able to assist the vulnerable ones and the needy ones in our community. So it is a lot for us right now, and it's nothing new to Red Cross, because post-Maria, like you said, we have been out there in the forefront assisting many residents, and we continue to do so because the operations is still ongoing, and we hope that we will, once we have the resources, continue to assist the needy ones.
Roll believes it's important for homes and businesses to revisit their disaster plans.
We encourage businesses to have their business continuity plan, because it's important post any disaster. How do you continue with your business? Okay, so it should not be a plan that's taking dust, because it's something that should be reviewed on a regular basis, whether it's annually, because you know things change, your staff may change, etc., and you need to ensure that everyone knows their roles and responsibilities. So if anything happens, then your business can rebound much faster and quicker. And also, not just the businesses here, we encourage households to have household disaster plans.
As new Red Cross Director General, Roll replaces Interim Director Jamaican Dr. Jaslyn Salmon.
With the impending Hurricane Isaac barreling through the Atlantic towards the islands, companies have been revisiting their disaster plans, and Flow Dominica is among them. Flow's local crisis management team met on Monday in anticipation of the hurricane, which is expected to affect the island by Wednesday.
Within our company, we have what we refer to as our local crisis management team, which is connected throughout the course of the year, but becomes more active once there is an impending crisis, whether it be a crisis within the business or a crisis within the environment. In this case, we are preparing for the impending arrival of Hurricane Isaac. And as a company, as of this morning, we activated our local crisis management team. That team met this morning to review plans and preparations for any eventuality. And based on our meeting this morning, we have realized that we are generally prepared for any eventuality.
Frampton says the team is prepared, and Monday's meeting provided an opportunity to address any outstanding matters to ensure that Flow Dominica is prepared to continue to serve its customers in the event Dominica is affected by Hurricane Isaac. You are watching the Channel 5 News. Stay tuned for more after the break.
M&J Covering is the producer of designed galvanized and galvalume in Dominica. They design to your specifications, color and length, 4 styles of galvanized and galvalume pre-painted roofing sheets as requested, and supply all your galvalume accessories. M&J Covering helps you control spending and reduce waste. At M&J Covering, they are also equipped to build your roof to precise standards anywhere on island. So come to M&J Covering at 1 Mile in Portsmouth or call 445-5001 275-5003 today.
Welcome back. Chief Elections Officer Ian Michael Anthony is promising that the voter identification card is a more secure means of verifying who is on the voters list.
His remarks came at Monday's national consultation on the Registration of Electors Amendment Bill and the House of Assembly Elections Amendment Bill. Anthony explained the process of obtaining a voter identification card should the bill be approved in Parliament.
In terms of confirmation, where the enrollment officer allows a confirmation, a certificate of request for confirmation shall be issued, and that is going to be issued to the Chief Registering Officer, and a copy of that certificate together with the application form and supporting documents will be sent to the Chief Registering Officer. And once the Chief Registering Officer is satisfied that the applicant meets the requirement for confirmation, then a voter registration number will be issued in respect of that elector. And the voter registration number, together with a unique identification number, will be among the details included in the National Identification Card that will be issued to the elector by the Chief Registering Officer.
He said while the card will primarily be used for voter identification, the hope is to have it serve multiple functions.
The other thing we say is that it is anticipated that apart from using voting, the card may have other uses. But of course, we'd appreciate subject to somebody else accepting the card. What of course we would know is that it's like a driver's license when it's accepted to the business. So the idea is that hopefully that other persons will accept that card, because we would have gone through a rigid process in first of all creating the system, going through the enrollment, going through the verification, and then ultimately issuing the card itself. And to stress the point again, that the card is a card that is going to be used for voting, as well as what other means of identification that may be accepted.
The voter identification card will be valid for 10 years from the date of issue. Meantime, leaders of the two main political parties in Dominica brought their concerns on the amended bills to the fore. Leader of the opposition United Workers' Party, Lennox Linton, said the main area of concern for his party was the registering of Dominicans overseas for the voters list.
I believe, and the United Workers' Party believes, the parliamentary opposition believes, that in much the same way as registration of the voter takes place within the state of Dominica, confirmation of registration must also take place within the state of Dominica. There can be no argument that anybody who willingly, in pursuance of their human right, their freedom and democracy, to leave Dominica and live somewhere else, is disenfranchised from voting because they cannot make it back to Dominica within some reasonable time to confirm that they're Dominicans and they ought to be on the registered list of voters.
Leader of the Dominica Freedom Party, Kent Vital, shared similar sentiments.
One is that we would like Section 31 to be removed. That is the element to do with the ability to go overseas to confirm. That is under the Registration of Electors Amendment Act. Number two, I don't remember which part of it was. It was on the House of Assembly Act. We would like for the section to do with the use of cell phones and other electronic devices in polling stations, that this must be in the parent act, that there must be a clear disallowing of that to occur, rather than to leave this up to the regulation to be done by the Electoral Commission.
Minister for Foreign Affairs Francine Barron sought to clear the air on the matter.
The Electoral Commission or the Electoral Office will send its officers, let's say, for example, to London, and they will gather the information and they will take that information back to the Electoral Office in Dominica, where it will be entered onto their system, and they will go through a verification exercise, as the Chief Elections Officer explained earlier. And after that process is gone through and the verification has been done, then that person will remain on the register. If they remain qualified, or if they are not qualified, they will be removed from the register. We have Dominican citizens, our friends, our family who reside overseas, who have qualified to vote, who are contributing to this society. When we go overseas, we want to have town hall meetings with them. When they come here, we engage them. When something happens in this country, we call on them to assist us. And we sit here today and we say that because they chose to live somewhere else, we should remove them from the list.
Flow Dominica is rolling out its Fiber to the Home or FTTH service in and around the city of Roseau, with plans of gradually spreading out across the country. Flow's Marketing and Corporate Communications Manager, Ferdinand Frampton, tells us more about this exciting development and what it means for customers.
We are happy to see that effective today, Monday, we have begun connections where our fiber to the home network is concerned. And we are really excited about that. And we hope our customers are excited as well. And we've actually started the rollout in 5 major areas. Roseau Central, we're looking at Goodwill, as well as Yampis, Stock Farm, and Tarish Pit. So customers in these areas can begin to come in and sign up for service. They can come right here to our main store in the capital city and sign up, or we have agents, sales agents, who will be coming directly to them to assist them in signing up for service. So we're very happy about that, and over the coming weeks we'll continue to roll out in other areas as well. So this is exciting news for us, for our customers, as we've begun the process of connecting customers on our fiber to the home network. And of course, fiber simply means that our customers are going to be enjoying much faster internet and broadband speeds.
And the Waterfront and Allied Workers Union is making headway in negotiations with a number of institutions here. Secretary-Treasurer of the Waterfront and Allied Workers Union, Curtis Augustus, says the trade union has been in negotiations with the Dominica Infirmary and the National Cooperative Credit Union.
I was into negotiations with the Dominica Infirmary, where we have done the body of the agreement. But then we have not dealt with the question of wages, knowing the challenges that the infirmary is faced with. So we are doing those types in relation to negotiations. And a big one is the National Cooperative Credit Union. We have in fact received counter-proposals in relation to wages. And I have indicated through a letter that we will be giving our response to the proposals after we have consulted and have had discussions with the staff. So we are constantly on the move.
To end the news, the headlines again. Dominicans warned to seriously prepare for Hurricane Isaac. The Red Cross among organizations preparing for Hurricane Isaac. And the government engages the public on proposed registration of Electors Amendment Bill. Feel free to contact us at news@marpin2k4.com. You can also access our past newscasts on our YouTube channel. On behalf of the entire production team, I am Andrea Louis, and to all of our viewers around the world, thank you so much for watching. Join us next time.